Brianna Jackson. I go to UMBC. I'm in a culture and politics class, and I am at the legislation wrap-up. The speaker is Kathy Szeglia.
End-of-life options, and assisted suicide. Any of you heard of that bill that came through? This is like the third or fourth year. So I'm on Health and Government Operations, Delegate Arkin on Judiciary. We had a joint hearing on that bill. This bill says that if you have a physician that says you have 6 months to live, you can get a prescription from a physician to let you end your life. And you know, there were many problems. There's no liability put in the bill, so that if a family said, hey, you know, this greedy heir to the fortune talked grandma into ending her life, I have no recourse. They gave complete immunity to physicians and did not allow any attorneys to be able to represent a family if this was indeed a bad decision. We can look at other countries where they do this, and it has been expanded to include not just the elderly, but the frail, the disabled, and children. So both Delegate Arkin and I both voted against that bill. It did pass the House, but I don't know if you saw the news reports on that. It did die in the Senate by 1 vote.
I want to interview.
My name's Kathy Jeffries.
Okay. And to get started, what brought you here today?
Well, I know Catherine Gerard for years in the Republican Club, and I was involved in many of the campaigns for Republican candidates, and so I just heard about this club and been going for years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Next question is culturally, your background. My class is culture and politics, so what kind of impacted your political views and
Justin,
compared to culture,
nice to meet you.
your cultural background?
Well, I certainly think my parents influenced my political views. I think I was raised to be a free thinker and to critically analyze like every political decision and candidate, and so my dad is a lot more liberal than my mom, and so I grew up like really analyzing both issues. So, and I think culturally it's just very divided, and we're taught to kind of stick to a party, which is great, but it also is important to really analyze, what the issues are. So I think that's kind of where I come from. So everything I look at, I don't say, oh, well, it's a Republican issue, so I'm going to vote, or a Democrat issue. I look at it and say, what will be best for the people in Maryland, and what makes the most sense. So that's also, that's kind of how I look at issues based on kind of how I was raised. So, and that's why I registered as an independent, so I could have the freedom to kind of look at both, not be boxed in as well.
Yeah. Yes. That's awesome. Thank you. And lastly, you did really well at this. What are your goals, or have you achieved any goals?
Well, one of my goals was to work in Annapolis, and I'm doing that now as an aide. But my long-term goal is to work in public policy as a policy analyst on the federal level. So I'm currently studying for the LSAT to attend law school by fall 2020. So that's my goal for right now.
Congrats, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was it. Hi, I'm Brianna. I'm at the Republican Woman of Baltimore County Legislation Wrap-Up, and I am with...
My name is Justin Provo, and I work in Baltimore County, live in Baltimore County. I'm a groundskeeper for a maintenance part of a apartment company. It's called Apartment Services, incorporated in Hunt Valley.
Thank you. To get started, I just want to ask you, for starters, what brought you here today?
From the emails that I received from the GOP of Baltimore, of Maryland.
Okay.
So, and I was finally able to actually make it to one of them, which is this one today.
Okay.
So,
Perfect. And second, culturally, if you take your cultural background, has that impacted your political views, or?
Well, I was raised in a pretty left-leaning place because I grew up in the city.
Okay.
But and because I grew up in the city, I saw a lot of what the Democratic Party and just the left period was doing to the communities, and how a lot of people are dependent upon the nannying state of welfare and Medicaid and all of the other subsidized incomes and housing that goes on. And a lot of that just kind of, you know, forced a lot of my political leanings to be pretty right-leaning.